Hello students. Today the class will be dentin, types of dentin from oral histology. There are mainly three types of dentin: primary dentin, secondary dentin and tertiary dentin. Primary dentin is again divided into mantle and circumpulpal dentin. If you can see in the image on the right side, primary dentin is on the outer surface closest to the enamel. After that, lining the pulpal region is the secondary dentin, and there are white hollows into the pulp. They are tertiary dentin. We'll see about each of them in detail. Types of dentin again, a well-defined image. The enamel, following that, pink colored region is the mantle dentin. Following that, the light pink region is the circumpulpal dentin. Mantle and circumpulpal dentin together form the primary dentin. Yellow colored region, secondary dentin. And in case of reaction to caries, trauma, or any type of attrition, something called as the tertiary dentin is formed. Primary dentin, it is deposited throughout the tooth. It is the dentin which is formed before root completion. One word to note, dentin formed before root completion is primary dentin. Constitutes the bulk of the dentin in the tooth. Continues to grow 3 years after the root completion. Now there are two types of primary dentin. Mantle dentin, which is the outermost dentin just below the enamel. Second one is circumpulpal dentin. Mantle dentin is the first formed dentin in the crown. One word, which is the first formed dentin? Answer will be mantle dentin. It is present below the dentino-enamel junction. It is the outermost part of the primary dentin. In this image, the white zone is the mantle dentin. Circumpulpal dentin is found below the mantle dentin. That is also a part of the primary dentin. It is more mineralized than the mantle dentin. The dentin outlies the pulp chamber and hence it is called as circumpulpal dentin. Now, difference between mantle and circumpulpal dentin. Location of mantle dentin below the dentino-enamel junction. Circumpulpal dentin will be between the mantle dentin and the predentin. Predentin is nothing but the dentin which is unmineralized and it is present surrounding the pulp. So between the predentin and the mantle dentin, predentin below and the mantle dentin above, you have the circumpulpal dentin. This image, pulp is here. Mantle dentin is yellow color region. And predentin is the region just surrounding the pulp. That is the state of dentin before mineralization, predentin. So circumpulpal dentin is present between the yellow colored mantle dentin region and the predentin region. Thickness of mantle dentin 20 micrometers. Thickness of circumpulpal dentin 68 micrometers. Pattern of mineralization, mantle dentin globular, it is less mineralized. Circumpulpal dentin linear, more mineralized. If you can see in this image, from the top left, enamel, followed by a light colored area, mantle dentin, present just below the dentino-enamel junction. You can appreciate the S-shaped curvature of dentinal tubules. Below the mantinal dentin, circumpulpal dentin is there. Mantle and circumpulpal dentin together form the primary dentin area. Below the primary dentin is the secondary dentin. Secondary dentin, it is the narrow band of dentin bordering the pulp formed after root completion. One word to note, dentin which is formed after root completion is secondary dentin. They have fewer tubules than the primary dentin. forms at a slower rate than primary dentin and found in greater amounts on the floor and roof of the pulp chamber. Its function is to protect the pulp from exposure. Same diagram. In the diagram on the left, secondary dentin is seen surrounding the pulp. That is the dentin which is formed after root completion. The diagram on the right, you can appreciate the secondary dentin here, just below the primary dentin. Kindly note down these images because they can be asked as an image-based question. Tertiary dentin. Tertiary dentin is also called as reparative or reactive or response dentin. They are nothing but localized formation of dentin along the pulp dentin border in reaction to external stimuli like caries, trauma, or attrition. Tertiary dentin is less permeable. So it is like a preventive mechanism if there is an insult to the tooth in the form of tooth restoration or attrition or trauma or tooth preparation. This tertiary dentin is formed so that toxic substances don't penetrate into the pulp. They are less permeable and prevent the penetration of toxic substances into the pulp. Coming to the end of the session. Which of the following contains the unique protein phosphophidin? Answer is option B, circumpulpal dentin. Bone-crop fibers are found in dash. Option A, mantle dentin. Thank you.